All right. So, how y'all doing today? I want to go over what's going on with I'm not going to do no fundamental stuff, obviously. You can do the fundamental stuff by watching Nick the Trader's videos, his videos go over fundamentals. We going to deal with the technicals. I like looking at fundamentals, but you should been doing I feel like there's something you do on your own, so when you come to technicals, you know what you're looking at. So, this is SP. We want to zero in on SP because SP as the looks of it, it's like it's high, low, and it started to slow down and look like it's gonna drop. But that's what it looks like long term, right? Long term, it looks like it's gonna drop. So let's just analyze just what we're seeing here. We had a candle that closed, it wicked right here and closed up. It was bullish. Then today we had a drop that came down right here somewhere, took out this liquidity right here. Liquidity was taken out right there, and then it spiked back up. Let's go to the higher other time frames to look and zoom out a little bit. Okay, there we go. So right here was a demand setup. Let's put that in template. All right, so that was a demand that it wicked in. It went below the demand, obviously, took out liquidity, and any buyers that got in on this move end up getting wrecked as it pushed back up. Now, let's go back to the daily. Based off of this daily close, it's only so much you can get out of this for tomorrow when we trade tomorrow. Because SP is what we're gonna usually be trading from this point on. I mean, obviously we're gonna do AU, oil, gold, whatever we see. But I'm looking at it from this point. Let's go to 30. Let's go to 30 real quick. So on the 30, you have a supply. Let's put that in, right? So it tapped the supply. It did a liquidity grab and wicked the demand, then came up here, tapped the supply. Now it's going down, right? So on the 30, we got a picture of what could happen for tomorrow, right? Hour, pretty much same thing, right? 200 EMA is above, so most likely it's probably going to be sales. So when you go to the daily and let's drag this supply out for a second and let's do one thing. You remember what we used to do? If you put a fib from the high of that wick all the way down to that wick low, you got about a 0.786 fib. So tonight, if the if New York session, I mean London session, it start doing this during London session, it pushes up. So by the time we come to this market tomorrow, and you got something like this, let me make it the right color and all that stuff. Put that right there. Hold on. All right. So if you got a candle like, let me make it the right color. Was it I'll just say it like that. So if we come to the market in the morning and it's like this, and it's like rejecting the 0.78, but on a 30, it wicked above the 30 high. I know this looks ugly, and it comes up there because there's another supply right there. So on a daily coming in the morning, this could flush back down and wick and close like this, right? That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. Is based off how strong that bear candle is. Now on the flip side of that, because you want to look at both sides. If London session comes and overnight, let's do this. Let's delete everything, and I'm gonna keep the demand. Like if London session comes and these candles do this, that's the demand, right? We'll keep the demand right there. And here's the candle. So it opens up like this. And London session is like this. There's a higher probability, since that is a demand, that it maybe wick one more time inside and then push up and close bullish. So those are the two areas of one to buy, one to sell. What is it gonna do? We don't know. However, we most likely just want the 30 supply to stick all night. So let me close that out. Most likely, if it stays above this supply and sits all night like this, depending, I didn't go and look at the news or nothing. But if we get one to come back up here, play games all night, and then wick above here one more time, then down, then yeah, because that's what the T200 EMA is showing. Sales on the 30 hour H4, the 200 EMA is above, so I would rather take that sale. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I'd rather take that sale even though we're on the uptrend. Now we do want to keep in mind I mean that demand, I forgot where it is, probably right. That demand is the last hope for this move. Once this wiggle, I call it a wiggle. Once this start doing one of these joints and start compressing down and then drop, it's gonna take out that low or that wick low down there. So that's what we're looking for as far as SP is concerned. Now, I want to do AU. Let's do AU because we trade AU a lot too. AU end up tapping the daily in the H4. So tomorrow we can definitely get an AU demand set up maybe because it already it went into the H4 and the daily at the and then the support is the 70 even, the 70 round number 70. So tomorrow or maybe tonight, well no, not tonight. Yeah, not tonight. We'll just see what happens. We'll play it by ear. Just see if we can find a buy setup after this to come back and touch that 72 because that's where AU looks like it wants. It looks like it wants to come to 72 flat. But if it don't come to 72 flat and the 70 and the 69 areas right here start getting violated, it's coming down at 67. And that's just that round number, like dealing with round numbers. That's usually what happens as far as supply and demand's getting wrecked. So that's that. GU our GU trade hit stop loss because it just got wrecked. And it is what it is. This is what happens. So now it's probably going to go down at 0.31. It might get a retest of a turncoat that demand and turn it into a support and just rip back down. Um, thought we were going to go to 140 flat, but it seemed like it didn't want to continue going off of that demand and the support. Hey, it is what it is. We already caught that AU setup, so it's all good. Um, let's see what else. So what else we've trading? We've trading oil. Oil just oil never gave a retest because I was gonna give a setup for oil. But we did get into oil. But it this today we had an oil setup. Let me show you real quick. Let's show you that. Any minute now. So we had that sell on SP. It hit TP. There's the oil. So the oil, I got out. Once it got to that line, I put my stop loss in profit to see if it was going to continue giving me that move. But what ended up happening, and I mean, I made money anyway. Where was it at? Right there. So that was the move. Once it closed up above there, I put my stop loss in profit, so it just took me out. I mean, it took me out right there, so I made like 0.6% gain off of that. Remember, we dealing with longevity. We not dealing with like we ain't trying to pass challenges all quick and or get money all quick. The slow route is the best route. We might see some more setups on oil. Oil's definitely I'm gonna actually mark up oil tonight, maybe, and see what we could do about oil. See it already, it just tapped the demand right there on the 30. Tapped the 30 demand today. Today was crazy. That's why I took them two trades and I was out of the market. You could tell the behavior of the market. And that's where this next thing is gonna come in at. Watch this. The candles in the market are I'm spelling it wrong. Dang, cuz. All right, watch this. So look, I put in ChatGPT, the candles in the markets are people's psychology. That's the hedge funds, all the banks, everyone that's involved in these big moves. That's somebody's mindset, right? Now watch this. Let's read it. Let's move me out the way. I'm gonna put myself right there. So it says, yes, that's actually a very accurate way to think about it. Candlesticks on a chart are visual representation of crowd psychology. You see what I'm saying? That's the crowd psychology of one end of the bank and another end of the bank. Bulls and bears, right? Every candle shows a battle between the buyers and the sellers during a specific time period, right? Which is what we trade will be the New York. Here's how psychology shows up on a single candle. Bullish candle, close and open. Buyers are stronger. Confidence or optimisms dominate. Traders are willing to pay higher prices. Bearish candles, close or open. Sellers are stronger. Fear and pessimisms dominate. Traders are willing to accept lower prices, right? What different parts of the candles represent? The body is the strength, right? This is all simple stuff. So the body of the candle is strength. Let me go back to SP real quick. Um, SP to the daily. So right here it says body is the strength of conviction. So look at the strength of conviction of the daily candle today. Strong fear and optimism hit the market because of whatever was going in Iran or whatever. But then it came to a demand and buyer psychology is like, I don't like it below that demand on H4. So they bought right there. So psychology, what you dealing with is things are psychology. It's people's mindsets. So watch this. Watch this. How do you go right here? I'm gonna spell it wrong. Let me watch what they say. All right, see, I know that because they're gonna try to stay away from the spiritual stuff, but watch this. So it depends on how you're defining words. Well, we're not trying to define it in a formal way. So it says psychology is the study of the mind, thoughts, emotion, behavior, perception, and decision making. Spirituality usually refers to meaning, purpose, consciousness, connections, and something greater than oneself. That's what their definition is. But when you start reading the scriptures in the Bible, it shows that the spirit that's on you, whatever spirit that's on you, controls your thoughts. Look at the psychology part. What I'm telling you something about the Bible and what it explains. The spirit that's on you, the spirits that are on you, whatever that be, the spirit of pride, the spirit of covetousness, or good performance spirits, or whatever those things are that's on us. They control your thoughts, emotions, behavior, perception, and decision making. So that means that the spirits that are on you are the psychology part is the effect. The cause is the actual spiritual part. Now watch this. Let's see if it pulls up. If it don't pull up, then I'm gonna go to the all praises. So I'm gonna go to Matthew chapter 7:17, and we're gonna start at verse 15. So it says, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic. So a lunatic is a They will call it a behavior or some type of psychological problem, right? So let's read that from the top. Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. Sore vexed is a mental thing. For oftentimes, now watch this part. For oft times he falleth in the fire, and oft times he fall in the water. So yeah, think about it. This lunatic spirit on him that's vexing him is causing him to fall in the water. It's giving him behavior patterns of falling in the water, falling in the fire. So it's messing with him. Now read psychology one more time. Psychology is the study of the mind, thoughts, emotion, behavior, perception, and decision making. The behavior and the decision making of this spirit called lunatic on this brother made him sore vex and made him fall in the fire and fall in the water. What is being revealed here? Psychology is just a little key phrase word for what the spirit is actually doing to you. In order to understand the spirit that you're in, you got to identify your thoughts, emotions, behavior, and perception and decision making, and how is it affecting you in what way, and you'll be able to identify what spirit is on you. Now let's keep reading. Verse 16. And I brought him to the disciples, and they cannot cure him. So this spirit of lunatic is a strong spirit because the disciples couldn't cure him. So he says, and then Jesus answered and said, "Oh, faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you?" So he talking smack. He's like, "Man, bring him here to me." Then he says, and Jesus rebuked the devil. Well, now wait a minute. Right here it said lunatic and sore vex. That's a spirit. He's calling the spirit a devil. So now when you go back to psychology, and it says it's the study of the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, the behavior, and the perception and the decision making. All of those things are affected by what spirit you're in. So again, the spirit is it's a cause and effect thing. The spirit is this, the spirit does this. The thing that the spirit does is the psychology part. Let's keep reading. Then came Jesus let's read it. Let's go back to 18. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. So okay, so that means that all psychological problems and spirits can be cured. Let's read. Then it says, then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, why couldn't we cast it out? So now they're asking Christ, why couldn't we cast this lunatic spirit, this lunatic behavior, this lunatic thing that's making him have bad decisions, bad thoughts? Because a thought becomes a habit, the habit becomes an actual thing, that movement that you do, and you start doing something. That's psychology, but that's what the spirit does, right? So they said, Lord, why couldn't we do this? Let's see what they say. And Jesus said, because of your unbelief. So that's where we got to have belief that we can get those things in us, out of us. It's dealing with your belief. Watch this. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say to a mountain. Now, not an actual mountain, but this is a similitude. The mountain is your problems. The mountain is the unclean spirits. The mountain is the devils that we have, or our issues, or our trials and tribulations. So it says, we'll say into this mountain, remove hence to yonder place. So meaning go somewhere else. And it says, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible to you. And then it says, now he gives the meat. Howbeit, verse 21, howbeit, this kind, meaning that strong spirit of lunatic in him, this kind goeth out but by prayer and fasting. So in prayer and fasting, you're able to change your psychology. I'm using their word. Through prayer and fasting, you can take the unclean spirit out of you and replace it with something else. Obviously, you had to be keeping the commandments and faith in Christ and praying for repentance so he can remove those things out of us. But that is what that is. Now, why did I get into all of this? I got into all of this because a lot of y'all are failing at performing at trading because of the unclean spirits that's on you. covetousness, pride, you know what I'm saying? That FOMO spirit that comes with covetousness. A lot of those things that we talk about online, a lot of it is rooted in covetousness. And in order to get your trading right where you're performing better, you got to remove those spirits. Because again, like we said, these candles are psychology. Yeah, you heard what Chat GBT said. This is the psychology of two different banks. So that means this is the spirit of two different banks. If you get your spirit together and you cleanse your spirit through Christ and get yourself together, then it'll be easy to look at these candles without any interruptions and just follow your system and perform. And that's where I'm at, and that's where you need to be at. That's all I'm just saying. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to get out of this conversation, so you can get the understanding of that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this. We doing pretty good this week. We got these two trades in. We locked in. I'm gonna be looking. It's 4 o'clock. I'm gonna look for some more setups. Might not trade tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie to you. Might not be trading tomorrow either. Um, so if you don't see nothing on the any trades for tonight I mean, well, if you don't see no trades in another 2 hours, I'll see y'all next evening. So with that being said, peace. I'm gone. I got some stuff to do. I'm out.